Welcome back, everyone. I'm Bob Lucido, and this is the Bearcat Training Camp lesson number 1. First of all, thank you so much for all the enthusiasm and participation that's already going on over on that Facebook page. That really is the key to success, is really diving in and participating, becoming a team player. You're going to hear that from me a lot over this series of videos, so it's so good to see that happening over there already. And thank you too for diving in and really taking that first homework really serious and writing out your why to start off your new journal. Notice that we did that as a preliminary exercise, and that's on purpose. I believe that as you're working with your prospects, that the development of the why should be part of that sharing experience that you're doing with your prospects before they even sign on. Now, every once in a while you get someone who signs the first day that you share the opportunity with them, and that's fantastic. And in that case, I would still make sure that preliminarily, before I would put them in a training group or try to start teaching them anything about coaching, is have them do that same exercise that we did to start this group off, and that is writing out the why and connecting with the why. And we put it in our journal because that's something that is going to continue to evolve. It's something that you're going to want to continue to go back and visit. It's not something that you do in some get started right interview and then file it away and say, okay, I'm done with that. That's really the seed. That's the seed that your business is going to grow from. And that's why we did it as a preliminary exercise, and so that's all I want to do with that for now. Thank you so much for diving in. If you hadn't had a chance to do that yet, make sure you go back and catch some of those little videos that have been running on the page over the last couple of days about how to go through that exercise of writing out your why and really connecting with it. So from there, where do we go? Okay, so we've answered the question why, and now, in my opinion, the next question is what? With my brand new coach or someone who I'm starting off in a brand new training program, once we tackle that first question of why, the next question is what? What does a Beachbody coach do? And there's a lot of different things that you can explore in answering that question, but when you boil it right down, we share. That's what we do. We share the opportunity for people to experience positive life change in the areas of health, fitness, or building wealth. That's what we do. We share the opportunity for people to have positive life change in health and fitness through, of course, Shakeology, our nutritional supplement line, and the fitness programs. And with the coaching opportunity, we share the opportunity for people to build a second income or to build wealth. And that's what we do. Everything else we do is focused on that. Getting to the point where we can share either our products to help with health and fitness or the opportunity to join us as business partner coaches in this mission to continue to help more people. And in that sense also obviously having the opportunity to build a business. So that's what we do. We share, and if that's what it's all about, then I like to share that obviously first with my brand new coaches, and I ask all of us to really catch that concept as we start this new journey together in this training program right here. I'm a concept guy, so you're going to hear me talk a lot about concepts. As far as I'm concerned, the details and how we each individually dredge it out is going to look different for everybody. But there's some key concepts that, if you can grasp those, will drive success, and it'll ensure that you're doing the right things in the daily detail and in the drudgery kind of thing. And one of those concepts is this idea of making sure that we're always focused on sharing. And that's why I started this video with that graphic of the sharing cycle. And we're going to do a deep dive on the sharing cycle. There'll be a whole session on that. But I introduce it here in the beginning because I think you should introduce your new coaches to it on day one as well. And I'm going to ask all of us to make believe we're brand new coaches and make the same kind of commitments that we would ask our new coaches. This is part of our onboarding, making sure that we can duplicate success that we hopefully will find ourselves. And the first thing that we do to start down that road is to commit to live within what we call the sharing cycle. All right, you should get a copy of that graphic that we started this little video with. Just Google it. I'm sure you'll find sharing cycle Team Beachbody image. You'll find it. Tape it on your desk, put it in your journal, wherever you can continue to revisit it, and make sure that you're always bringing your focus back, because I'm going to ask us all to make the commitment to live within the sharing cycle on a daily basis. And for those of you who are brand new, this sharing cycle concept is broken down to 4 major sets of activities, and they really do define what we do as Team Beachbody coaches. So if you find yourself in your Team Beachbody business hours doing something that you can't figure out how it fits into the sharing cycle, you probably don't want to be doing that. You want to make sure that you are living in the sharing cycle. So what is that? It's broken down into 4 sets of activities. Finding people to share with. And again, we're going to do a deep dive on this stuff later on. My intent right now is not to do a training on the sharing cycle. It's to introduce the sharing cycle and introduce it as the primary thing we want to be committing to ourselves, and we want our new coaches to commit to and to be aware of. They need to know what are the set of activities I'm going to be doing as a coach. Don't just set me free and tell me to go earn Success Club points or sign people. How do I do it? Where am I going to be? Well, I tell people you're going to be living in the sharing cycle. You're going to spend some time finding some people to connect with, or, and I like to twist this one because I think this is important, or learn how to be found more easily. And as we get deeper down the road in this training, it's going to be a concept that's going to come up again. I'm a big believer in creating yourself as a magnet for those who are looking for exactly what it is that you have, making yourself easy to be found. I'm telling you folks, when you get that, it makes this finding section of the sharing cycle go a whole lot more smoothly and a whole lot easier. Because the truth is, we're not searching and finding or looking for people to convince or to beat over the head with something or to be salesy with. No, we're trying to find avenues to connect with those who are looking for what it is that we have to share and are ready to engage in that sharing process. Okay, so finding or making ourselves easy to be found. That's one of the set of activities that we want to be committing to right here in the beginning. And as I said, we'll do a deep dive on that later, because obviously we can talk about that for an hour or more itself. There's all kinds of strategies and techniques that we'll share on how to find groups of people and numbers of people to have the beginnings of the opportunity to create those connections, and how to become easier to be found. Okay. The second part of the sharing cycle is inviting, and again, it's a process that we're going to be talking about. But for now, just understand it's one of the things that you're going to be doing. Once you find people to connect with, you're actually going to take the step and start inviting. And believe it or not, that's a step that really does stop a lot of people. And it's interesting because it's one of these very first baby steps that we have to learn. That's why I want us to commit to it right away, day one. Don't shy away from inviting. Inviting is going to be something you're going to do a lot of, okay? And again, we'll break it down and do a deep dive on that. The next part of sharing is actually doing the sharing. And again, that's what you're going to be doing as a coach. So know that. I want my coaches to know that from the beginning. If interacting with people and sharing with people is something that you don't want to be doing, then this might not be for you. That's what we do as coaches. We seek out more opportunities to have sharing experiences with more people so that we can create more connections and actually optimize our ability to share good health and spread the wealth. That's what we're out there doing. So again, that's going to be something else we're going to be doing. And again, we'll do a deep dive on these, but when I'm talking about sharing, I'm talking about doing what's called a quality exposure. And we'll define that later more deeply, but for now, just understand that that's going to mean using a third-party tool. That's going to mean using a video or a sample or a pamphlet or a flyer or something that's been put together primarily by corporate through the resource section of our online office. But there's some kick-ass teams in here, and I know a lot of people have also developed some great third-party tools. The idea is it's something other than you. You want to take yourself out of the formula in that sharing process. Again, we'll get to the more deep dive on that later. Right now, I'm trying to give you the same kind of introduction that I would be giving a brand new coach so that they can get the idea of what it is that we're going to be doing. And if you are a brand new coach and this is your first training, these are the things you're going to be doing. And the final thing in the sharing cycle is sponsoring. And that doesn't just mean sitting down and signing people up. It means being a coach. It means being a sponsor. We chose the word coach and not distributor for a reason. It's not just some cold one-time sale that we're seeking. We're seeking engagement in relationship. People who want to be sponsored, people who are looking for a connection, and we're there to offer that connection. So sponsor might mean the relationship that you have with the challengers in your challenge groups. You sponsor your customers just as much as we sponsor new coaches. New coaches come in and we're sponsoring them as a business partner. And then customers we're sponsoring, we're coaching along the way, we're supporting along the way, helping to make sure that they reach the success and get the results that they came in for, that they're seeking. So that's what we do. That's the sharing cycle. Those are the things that your day is going to be made up of. And I'm asking you right here in the beginning, without even doing a further deep dive on the sharing cycle, for you to commit to live within the sharing cycle for the next 60 days or 90 days or however long it is that you're going to continue on this journey with us. Please commit to making sure that all of your Beachbody time can somehow, in your own mind, be connected to this sharing cycle. Because I'm telling you, the sooner you get completely centered, focused, and active on only sharing cycle related activities, your efficiency and effectiveness is going to skyrocket. Remember, it's easy to be busy. It's a different thing to be effective. So we don't want to just be busy. We want to be effective. And if sharing is what it is that we do, let's make sure that we've got a good grasp on these 4 sections of the sharing cycle and are fully committed to be active in all 4 sections. Again, it's not enough to be active in one. It's all 4. Okay? So that leads us right into what's really the topic of today, and that is how do we get a new coach started? How do we get ourselves started right off the bat so that we can get to work on day 1 of the job. And we do that by sharing what I call daily disciplines. All right, so now that we're aware of the sharing cycle and we know that we're going to be involved in activities in those 4 categories, the next step is to get started. Let's get started on a program. Let's get active. And the reason why I introduced the sharing cycle today without going into a deep dive, again, was on purpose, because I want you to get the sense that it's more important to get active than it is to understand it all, especially in the beginning. And you want to convey that message to your coaches too. Let's just be aware of the sharing cycle. Let's be aware that we're going to be active in those categories, and we're going to learn more about those categories, and we're going to learn how to be effective and learn some strategies and some action items and all of that stuff. But job 1 is getting started. Invariably, what I've seen happen in my own personal experience on our team is that the coaches who have great success are the coaches who just get started, who just get active and figure it out as they go. Trust me, this isn't very complicated, and you will figure it out as you go. In the beginning, it looks daunting and it seems crazy, and then you're like, oh, wow, that's not that much stuff. It's really not. But the stumbling block for most people, especially new people, and even some of us who have been around for a while, is getting going and committing to what I call daily disciplines. And it's a set of activities that we have to commit to, and we have to commit to doing on a daily basis. And again, one of those concept things, this really has to sink in, folks. What we have to commit to right here at the beginning is getting active and being active 5 to 6 days a week, even if it's only an hour a day on those times. If you're part-time, you can do it part-time, but it's part-time daily. That's just the way this works. I draw the analogy between building this business and engaging in a fitness program all the time, because it works so well. And this is one of those places where it works. If you start a fitness program and you decide you're going to work out a couple days a week and take 5 off, that's not going to work too good. Or if you decide, hey, I'm going to do hammer and chisel, but I don't have time during the week, so I'm going to do all 6 workouts on Saturdays, right? It's not going to work. You can probably end up in the hospital, right? You're going to go backwards instead of forward. You also can't say, hey, I'm going to go gung-ho and I'm doing 2 workouts a day for 2 weeks and then disappear for 2 weeks, right? You get nowhere when you run your fitness regimen that way. And trust me, you'll get nowhere if you run this business that way. If you can slow it down and instead grasp the concept that there are a few things, there's a set of things that you need to be doing on a daily basis in order to build momentum and consistency, which are really going to be the keys to your success. And I'm going to share with you what my list is, but there are some rock star teams who have joined us here. And by the way, I'm super humbled and excited and enthusiastic about the number of great leaders who are in here with us in this group. And I know many of you have your own power hour or list of daily activities that you share. I'd love to see people posting up some examples on the Facebook page so that we can all see some sort of different ideas, because everybody builds a little bit different. And it's not important what program you're following, because you're going to see the main items are going to be in everybody's list, and then everybody's going to have a few nuances and maybe some couple special things, right? And that's okay, just like the fitness. It doesn't matter if you're doing P90X or Body Beast or 21 Day Fix or Hammer and Chisel, as long as you do the program. Pick one and do it. Pick one and commit to it. Right? Get the workouts done 5 to 6 days a week. Don't skip. Extend that over an extended period of time, 30, 60, 90 days. Guess what? You're going to get results. This business is the exact same way. So that's concept number 1 that we have to share with our new coaches, and we have to remind ourselves as we embark on this journey here in this little training program right here. Let's commit to daily activity. Okay, that's the key here, is daily activity, so that we can build momentum, so that we can get the train moving, so that it can start chugging along and building the business for us. Okay, so very important concept, and the most important word there is daily. We got to get that. Okay, so here's mine. All right, the first thing is you got to get 2 to 5 new exposures every single day. And when I say every single day, please understand, I mean 5 to 6 days a week. That's our program, okay? I'm doing hammer and chisel right now. When I opened up the book and I looked at the calendar, I was like, all right, I'm committing to working out 6 days a week. And I'm going to do the workout that's on the calendar for that day. And here I am at the beginning, I'm going to commit to get that done. Okay, so for those of us who want to build a coaching business, here we are. We're opening up the box, and here's the calendar. Mine happens to say daily disciplines on it. Your team might have a power hour that says something else, and you got a different list. That's cool. The idea here is we're all going to pick up a list, and we're going to commit to getting those things done. And here's the things that I think should be on your list. And the first is 2 to 5 new exposures a day. That's 2 to 5 new shares a day. And again, whether you just joined today or you've been in the business for 5, 6, or 8 years, you can get started on doing this today. You don't need to learn anything more in order to do an exposure. Because the cool thing is, it's not about you, it's about using a third-party tool. So you're going to use one of the videos that have been put together by Beachbody. You're going to hand somebody a sample. You're going to invite them to experience a simple workout. You're going to send them a Shakeology booklet. You're going to send one of the brochures, one of the resources and tools that you got from the online office. Something other than you, a third-party tool. And again, I know there's some rock star teams in here, and many teams have started to develop their own little third-party tool sharing tools. That's cool too. The point is, the concept, remember I'm a concept guy, the concept is that you're using a tool to start the sharing process. You're giving the prospect something to review and to learn from, a video, a sample, a fact sheet, whatever it is, that's not you. And letting that start the sharing journey, okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to follow up. Because the next thing on my list is 2 to 5 follow-ups a day. Okay, see, I got you talking to a few people every day. Either some new people or some follow-up people, and actually both. All right? So once you send the person home with that third-party tool, the other things that happen in that exposure for them to count as one of your 2 to 5 exposures is that you also got the follow-up information. You didn't hand them a business card. Don't do that, folks. People don't call you back. You have to do this follow-up. That's our job. That's what we do, okay? So you get the follow-up information, and then finally you set the expectation for the follow-up. Okay, hey, here's a sample of Shakeology. When do you think you might get a chance to try that? Tomorrow? Okay, great. You're going to try it for breakfast tomorrow? Cool. Can I touch base with you at lunchtime? I just want to see how it went for you and check in with you. Set the expectation. Or, hey, you're interested in hammer and chisel? It's fantastic. I'm doing it myself. It's kicking my butt. It's an awesome program. I'll send you a short video clip by email so you can watch it. And I'll give you a call later tonight so we can talk about it. Okay? Setting the expectation for the follow-up right in that initial exposure. Okay? So we're doing 2 to 5 exposures a day. We're doing 2 to 5 follow-ups a day. Look at that. We're working already. Day 1. Brand new coach, just joined this morning. You can do those things. And those are the most important things that we do as coaches. Okay? Maybe an exposure is, hey, I'm starting a new fit club. I'm so excited about this new business that I'm part of. I'm so excited about this new program. We're going to have a free weekly fit club. We're going to have a free shake and share party at my house next Tuesday. Here's the brochure that I put together about some of the stuff that we're going to be sharing. Okay? It might not be sharing the product itself. Some of your exposures might be sharing about your challenge group, sharing about a fit club that you're starting, sharing about a shake and share party that you're scheduling. And if any of those things sound like strange things, we're going to talk about each one of those things later on, and we'll have a session where we talk about those kinds of activities, which happen to be sort of higher impact sharing opportunities, fit clubs and shake and shares and home parties and challenge groups themselves. Okay, so all of that's working towards something I call a 10 in play or a 10 hot list. And again, we're going to have a whole deep dive and a whole session on that. But I want you to be aware of it from the beginning because, why am I talking to 2 to 5 new people a day? What am I trying to do? You're trying to get 10 names, 10 on a list that have an active conversation going. They tried the sample. Oh, I didn't like vanilla. Can I get a chocolate one? Yeah, let me get you a chocolate one and then I'll follow up with you again tomorrow. Hammer and chisel, the video looked cool, but I don't know. I'm still really thinking the body beast is more interesting to me. Can you send me a video on that one? Sure. I'm in the conversation. They haven't said no yet. They haven't said yes yet, but we're in that conversation. And you'll see as we get into that session later on, in my opinion, That's one of our goals, and that's one of the indicators that we have a healthy business. If we always have a list of 10 people that are at that level, where they've already gotten a quality exposure, they're mulling the idea, and we're actively in conversation, because you're going to see when I talk about follow-ups later on that I teach that we're going to do 5, 6, 7 follow-ups with every single person that we do an exposure with. We don't just expose and leave. We're going to have a series of exposures, a series of follow-ups through this process of our 10 hot list. So as long as we've already gotten 10 people developed to that level, then we know we're working. We know we got a business. We know that things are happening. So that's our goal for those 2 to 5 exposures, 2 to 5 follow-ups each day. And that's really the lifeblood of our daily routine, okay? But there's a few more things that I want you to do. And the next is, you got to get active on your accountability posts. You got to get active in your team page. If you want to use the training page that we put together for this group, that's fantastic. But whether you're on our team or another team, everybody has a team. Get active in your team, okay? And by the way, side note, everybody has a team. Let me say that, okay? Because sometimes I hear, oh, I don't have an active team, I don't have this, and that's malarkey. I'm sorry, but that's the truth. Everybody has an upline 5-star diamond, and everybody at that level has something going on that you can connect with, okay? So here's some people that you need to know how to contact. You need to know how to contact your sponsor, your upline diamond, your upline star diamond, and your upline 5-star diamond. It's just 4 people. If you can learn those 4 names, and it should be easy to find, those are the first line of contact that you want to be reaching out to. And I guarantee if you reach up that string, you're going to find support. You're going to find a team page to plug into. You're going to find a place where you can do this thing that I'm asking you to do, be a team player. I'm asking you to be active in your own accountability by plugging in to your team. Folks, that's your office. One of the cool things about this business is we work from home and we work on our own. But that can also be, that's a double-edged sword, because you are all alone and you don't have someplace you have to check into. I want you to commit on a daily basis to put that component in to this business. Get on your team page. You don't have to spend hours in there. Check in, okay? Consider that checking in at the office. Okay, you want to make sure that you're connecting with those people. You want to know who those 4 people are: sponsor, upline diamond, upline star diamond, and upline 5-star diamond, because even though none of us work for anybody else in here, we're all independent contractors. That's kind of like the supervisor line. Those are the people that you can go to for help. Those are the people you should go to for, hey, I'm in this new training group and I'm learning that I should be committing to some daily activities. Can you give me some help here? Because those are the people you're going to get it from, guaranteed. So be accountable to your business by treating it like a business. And we're going to talk about that later too. Treat your business like a business on a daily basis. Check in, okay? Check in to the office. And by the way, that also means get into your Coach Online office and at least go through the news section. Again, this is your business. I can't believe how many times I talk to coaches and they visit the Coach Online office like once a week or every once in a while, and are you kidding me? If you're in this group, then you're here because you want to build a business. Your online office is the window to your business. There is no excuse for any of us who consider ourselves to be business builder coaches to not be up on the current news that's coming through the news feed in our Coach Online office. Okay, there's no excuse for any of us to miss the Monday wake-up call. Okay, that's the board meeting. Okay, each week. If you got a 9 to 5 in corporate America and you didn't show up for the weekly board meeting, how long do you think you would continue in that group? Not very long, right? If you got a job in corporate America and you decided to never show up at the office and never plug in to what was going on, how successful do you think you would be? Not very, okay? It's the same thing here, okay? Another thing happens too when you take advantage of that accountability plug. You plug in, the momentum of the team is going to pull you forward. Suddenly you're part of things that you didn't think of. Suddenly there's a momentum and a shift that carries you forward. And that's the momentum. We're in network marketing, folks. That's what we're in. So plug into the network, okay? It's all about networking and leveraging and connecting, and that's what your team is for. So it doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours, but these are things that have to happen on a daily basis, just like your workouts for your fitness program. Okay, the next one is what we call 2 posts a day, but it's interesting now because there's so many options with social media and avenues for people to be engaged in that finding process that we talked about. And the 2 posts a day thing is really about making sure that you've got your hooks in the water, right? Making sure that you are easy to be found and that you are active in sounding the word. Hey, I have a business over here. I'm a Beachbody Coach, okay? And that can be 2 posts a day. You know, we say at least 2 posts a day if you're using Facebook, and not just, hey, I'm drinking Shakeology, right? And we're gonna, again, have a whole session on how to most effectively do that kind of stuff too. You know, you want to be interesting on Facebook, you want to be posting about who you are and what you're doing, and then kind of sprinkle in the things that you do as a Beachbody coach, so that again, the people looking can find you easily and can have an opportunity to make that connection with you. So this one I like to shift and say, you know, we call it 2 posts a day, but please think that it's bigger than that. If it's on Instagram, then that might mean something else. If it's you're on Periscope, or you're building through YouTube, or you're a face-to-face person out in the community, you know, building through fit groups or building through fitness centers, or you know, there's all kinds of ways to build this business and to find people and to connect with people. The point here is, on a daily basis, you're doing something to put the word out there. And if it looks like 2 new posts a day on Facebook, then that's cool. If it looks like, you know, joining, you know, a new club, so that you can be expanding your connection with bigger social circles and continuing growth that way, then that's cool too. It could look like many different things. Again, conceptually, if I look at my daily list, did I get everything done today? Did I get at least 2 things out there today that are somehow telling people who I am and where I am, and my sort of, it's like those little red lights right on the top of the tower that are telling the planes you know, where the tower is. You know, is your red light flashing? Did it flash at least twice today, so that if somebody is looking for you, they're going to be able to find you? Okay. The next one is personal development. Okay. And you're going to continue to hear a lot about personal development from me, because in my humble opinion, that's the secret sauce to success in this business. And that is, you know, how well you engage in the process of personal development. Not how many books you read, how well you engage in the process of personal development, driving it towards becoming better at creating and maintaining relationships, communication skills, you know, anything that's related to this sharing concept that we're talking about. And then that other concept that I talked about, you know, about making yourself more attractive. And that's not, you know, what you look like or how you dress. Attractive in the sense of people being magnetized to you because they want to be part of what you're doing. And personal development opens the door for us, okay? And so in the beginning, that might mean reading some of the suggested reading. And again, it's always suggested reading. When I do a whole session on personal development, you'll get more of my opinion on that. I don't believe you tell anybody, read this book and that book and the next book. Personal development is personal. And when you really learn how to dive into it, then you got to take an inventory of yourself personally and make some informed decisions about where it is that you need the growth to help you get the skills that you're trying to get to. But in the beginning, you know, there are some great things that you can start with that will help give you some direction on some of the concepts that we're talking about here. And we'll have a list of those up over on the Facebook page. You know, of course, for beginners, things like the Slight Edge or Compound Effect or GoPro or anything Jim Rohn. Building Your Network Marketing Business by Jim Rohn is a fantastic little set that's on CD and audio that you can get. Any of those things. But the idea here is you're committing on a daily basis to do something to make yourself a little bit better. And understand that personal development also includes training yourself on this new business that you have. Getting in the online office and familiarizing yourself with all of the resources and tools that are in there, going through all the training components and really getting yourself up to speed on what we have in the online office. Hey, that's part of personal development. For a brand new coach, that's a great thing to do. Can you give me 15 minutes a day coming up to speed on the online office? Another one I love to give to new coaches is, can you give me 15 minutes a day? Go through the myShakeology.com website and watch every single component in there. That's a great little training tool to help get a little bit familiar with Shakeology and how to share and how to get more comfortable. MyUltimateReset.com, spend some time in there. All of those things count as personal development. Personal development is simply making a commitment to improve your skill set a little bit each day. Okay, some reading, some research, some study, any of that. Okay, we're going to be students as we continue and as we grow our businesses, no matter what level we're at. Okay, my personal development component's always going to be there. And that drives our lifestyle, and that's the last piece. That's the last thing on my list is, shows up on the 3 vital behaviors. Be proof that the products work. I say be an active participant in the lifestyle. Proof that the product works, to me, means active participation in the lifestyle and just sort of enjoying what it is that we are as Beachbody coaches or even Beachbody customers or just people who are engaged and active in trying to improve our own health and fitness and sharing that with others. Okay, and it's important to be doing a program. It's not crucial that you're always right in the middle of a program, but I have to say I'm always in the highest momentum mode with my business when I'm also committed, focused, and active with the program. It just seems to work that way. And again, it's because you're active in the lifestyle. If you want to be a successful Beachbody coach, then just start acting like one, okay? And you can do that if you joined this morning. And what does a Beachbody coach do? A Beachbody coach focuses on his or her own health and fitness, watches her own nutrition, and invites others to the party, invites others to share the same positive life change experience. And the sooner you just start getting engaged in doing that, the quicker you'll start to see momentum going. And guess what? The easier it will be for you to actually get this list of daily disciplines done every day. Get a fit club going. Get active with holding shake and shares. Be active with your challengers in your challenge groups. Be working out yourself and invite friends and neighbors and anybody else who might want to be there with you. Get active in getting into support groups and being vocal and again making yourself apparent with what it is that you're doing, simply living the lifestyle. It's a big component here, folks. It really is, and that's it's one of the cool things we used to always. One of the slogans out there in the beginning of this whole coaching adventure was "Get paid to get fit," and that is a nice, catchy slogan. But it also really does capture and define, in some ways, what it is that is at the heart of what we're doing. When we really embrace the lifestyle, when we really get into what it is to be a Beachbody, or and just really be that. Then we become easier to find for those who are looking for that too. We become more attractive because people just see this enthusiastic, bubbly, healthy person running around and like, hey, I want some of that. What's that person drinking? I want to be part of that, right? And so it becomes such a crucial point in pushing all of these other things forward. So it's not just some kind of cliche statement, it's a really powerful component of the program that will drive success for you. Okay, and that's why it's on this list. It's something that you have to do on a daily basis. And once you do it, everything else will become easier. It's interesting. I'll leave you with this final thought to try to drive home this point. I always love talking with new coaches or new people coming in with the program who want to be a coach, and they say, well, let me do the program first, and then I'll feel more comfortable sharing. And I always try to talk people out of that, because in fact, the most powerful time to share is when you're in it for the very first time. And it's because of this thing we're talking about. You're in it, you're living the lifestyle, you're committed to a program, you're doing what it is that we share, and there's something attractive about that. There's something magical about that. It's another component of that secret sauce. If there is a secret sauce to this thing, the higher the level of your participation in all of it, the easier all of this becomes. All right, so I hope that makes sense, and we'll leave it there for today. Thank you so much for joining us. Please commit to a daily set of activities. I've suggested a bunch of them to you. These are the ones that I use. These are the ones that we share. I hope that folks from other teams will share some of their power hours or some of their other lists so people can get an idea of what people are doing who are having success. And again, I don't care which program you do. I don't care if you buy P90X, Insanity, or 21 Day Fix. Get one, commit to it, and then I can say to you, you can have a high expectation of great results. If you commit to it, you get it done every day, you stay consistent 5 to 6 days a week, and you do that over an extended period of time. That's what this is all about. Let's get started now. I don't care if you joined today or if you've been a Beachbody coach since the beginning, we can all start today. So let's get it done, and we'll see you next week.